Theme song, laugh, applause, sad drums, ring, ring, crickets, ease, outro.
Indeed.
Is this taboo?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
You know what this is.
Did you ever? What color are your underwear?
You're crass and inappropriate. It's your trippy hippie Alicia jumping on the mic from good old Utah.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel this shit.
Welcome.
To Hard Talks.
Seduction.
Seduction.
Where the talks are really hard.
I thought this was Flaccid Talks.
This shit sounds deep.
So deep. So deep.
Ring.
Inside me.
Hard Talks. Hard Talks. Hard Talks. You're listening to Hard Talks with a blonde and a hippie.
Brought here by Hard Talk Production.
Oh, I love that.
Little Elliot.
So singing cute.
Hey yo, fam. This is Hard Talks with a blonde and a hippie. I look like a thumb. It's your trippy hippie Alicia jumping on the mic from good old Utah. I'm joined this evening with an impromptu bonus 30-minute episode. It may or may not be a bonus. My good friend Shannon came over for dinner.
Hi, guys.
And we were having some hard talks upstairs. And I was like, girl, why don't we just jump downstairs and record like a little mini episode about this? And it just kind of happened.
Yeah, we might as well.
So, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing it.
You're doing it good.
I'm doing it good.
Really good. I mean, it's hard
Yeah.
without getting too much into it. I know
Yeah.
you're going through a recent breakup, but you have overcome. And you are just slaying and doing you and doing you.
I'm working on myself, because what else can you do?
I don't know, but if you're watching this, I look fantastic. I haven't worked for the past 2 days, and so I'm pretty sure this mascara under my eyes is
Oh, you look flawless. Baby.
flawless.
Flawless.
I'm thumbing it really good. But basically, we were upstairs. We were talking about post-coital stories, and you shared a good one with me. Before we jump into it, this is an 18 and up podcast. We talk all things controversial, difficult, wildly inappropriate, and taboo. You already know. I don't want to be responsible for your small children cursing like a sailor as I do, and as Shannon will do, as we tend to do. So thank you. We love you for listening, but just slide it on your own time. Please tell me again the story of the gentleman, because we already established that chivalry is dead.
Yes.
The gentleman that urinated in your bed. And I said this to you upstairs. I was like, you know what? I have had my moments. We all know that I'm a shit show. I have had my moments where I have been black out, like, send me to jail, I want to fight you, kind of drunk, and I still have never pissed my pants. So please, you have the floor.
Let me just give you a little background, I guess. On this relationship, it was not a relationship. Him and I were just like really good homies, I would say. Like he would come over, we would watch movies together. We just vibed really good as friends. It never escalated to anything further than friends. I never really wanted anything further than friends.
But it just kind of happened.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Shit goes down when you're drunk. Anyways, so this had been like a whole summer. We'd been hanging out. We'd go to parties together, all this good stuff. We had gone to a party that night that I was not particularly fond of. It was with a lot of kids that were younger than us. I'm 26. He's my age. And
I forget we're the same age.
I don't want to party with 21-year-olds. Like, I'm sorry. I really don't. Like,
That's like you might as well be partying with high schoolers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so it's kind of a rough night. He's like super into, I don't even know, playing beer pong all night. And I'm just sitting in the corner like, why the fuck am I here? I go up to say something to him. He calls me a bitch. I'm like, okay, I'll Uber home. Like,
See ya.
no,
Yeah.
not doing that. he hits me with a, oh, baby, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean it like that, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, okay, whatever. I'll just go pout for a second. I don't really want to pay for an Uber because I was far from home. Anyways, so we later do get home and I was so tired and I just literally, I passed out. I was like, nope, nothing. I just want to go to bed. And he lived further away. And so he was like, oh, I'll just sleep here, which was not uncommon.
Yeah.
And
But still, it was like not a friends with benefits thing. So at the party, it was like,
Right.
why are you calling me baby for
yeah,
one?
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And so I was just like, okay, whatever. You're being annoying. So
Just
I
go
wake
to
up-
sleep. Don't
yeah,
touch
I
me.
go- yeah, like, no, I turned on like The Office or something and I passed out.
Yeah.
So the next morning I wake up and I like feel my comforter and it's wet. And I look over and I see his water bottle tipped over. And so I was like, oh shit, like it must have been just his water bottle. Like
Assumptions.
they, they say about assuming, right?
It's never good.
Makes an ass out of you and me.
Yeah.
So anyways, he gets up finally because I wake up before him and I'm just sitting here thinking the whole time, I'm like, oh, his water bottle just spilled all over my bed. He gets up, he like goes to the bathroom, comes back and he's like, okay, I'm going to go now. And I'm like, okay. So I just was like, okay, bye. I turn over to kind of like go back to sleep a little bit and everything was just so wet. And I was like, what is this?
You're like, wow, that really spilled.
What in the world? And this is the worst part is that I smelled it because I was like, what?
There are, okay, so I'm going to get weird here for a second. You know how like some people's urine doesn't smell? And then there's like some people's who has like a really like prominent
Yes.
pee smell. Was it like that?
No, it wasn't bad, but you could smell it. And
You're
it
like,
was pee.
this motherfucker
Yeah.
pissed in
And I
my
was
bed
like,
and bounced.
Yeah, like at least be like, hey Shan, like, I'm really sorry. I was really drunk last night and I accidentally wet the bed. Let me put your comforter and your bedding in the washer for you.
Or at the least, before you say bye, just be like, do you have a dirty towel you can like, I could throw down? Like, I won't, forget even like trying to change your sheets. Like, just lay a towel down for me like a dog. Like,
The thing is, I had like secondhand embarrassment. I was mortified. I was like, why am I embarrassed? He's the one who pissed in my bed.
do you think he even realized? Or do you think
No,
he was
he
that
had to
shit-faced?
have.
He was probably like, I gotta go. Like,
Yeah, because
fast.
he peed his pants.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my point. I was like, I have never
So I
been
ghosted
to my
him.
point. Oh, well, you know,
Yeah.
I think I might have too. Like
He became a punchline of a joke to a lot of my friends.
right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, it's like, yeah, it's super embarrassing. And I was telling Alicia this story upstairs and I realized I was like, listen, I could write a fucking memoir of bad, like, stories.
And I was like,
that's
okay,
when
before
she
you
said-
unload, before you unravel,
Let's
let's go. So give it to me. What is
Okay.
the first chapter?
So that was a good story. Here's another one.
Okay.
There's this guy that I was super into him, but I was also super into myself at the time because I was glowing up. I was glowing up. I was doing my thing and
feel
just
that
like,
hard.
yeah.
I
It-
relate to that on a personal level. I was a scene kid as a teenager. And then it was like, oh, she found her boobies. What's going on? Like, hey, girl, you see me? I see you. Hey.
But I was, no, I
Sorry.
thought this guy was too hot for me, but I had this like blonde, long hair. It was during the summer. I was nice and tan. I was probably like 15 pounds lighter. I was working out all the time. I look good. Okay. And so I can't remember if he reached out to me or I reached out to him, but we started talking. I kind of basically told him like, hey, you know what? Like, I would love to be your friend and hang out with you, but like I'm doing me and there's not really any room for another person as
Right.
far as a relationship goes right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm so focused on like, I was miserable for so many years. So I was like, I am finally happy and I'm focusing on that happiness and I'm growing.
Yes, I've had that talk many a times too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, no hurt feelings, whatever. And like at first nothing led to it. And then, of course, one night I was horny. And I hit him up and he was like, on my way. Like, did not take long. And so like, it went on for a little bit, just like,
Isn't it funny how you don't hear from someone for like years and then all it takes is a hey baby and a certain time of hour for them to be
What
like,
are you
I'm
doing?
rushing your way.
what are you doing? That's
Keep the door unlocked. I'm a coming for you. 3 pump chump. Ugh.
yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, so this continued for a little while, and like fun. It was great. It was really good stuff.
Really
And
good stuff.
One day he had just gotten done at the gym, and so had I. And he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, just got done at the gym." I was like,
I'm all pumped and sweaty for
he's
you.
like, "Oh yeah, me too." I was like, "Oh, sweet. Do you want to like come over?" And we weren't hanging out at the time. It was strictly business. It was get here, get it done.
It's like, I won't even change out of my gym clothes, baby.
Literally, I said that to him. I said, "Come over and get in the shower with me."
Ooh,
So
that's my favorite. Shower sex is a way to be.
I'm just exposing myself. Oh my gosh.
Now, yeah, literally, I pretend no one listens or watches this because of the shit we talk about. Because I'm like, I just need to put that on the back burner. That was
Yep.
never said. Sorry, Grandma.
So we're in the shower and like nothing sexual, like literally we're showering. Sorry. I
you're
talk with
good.
my hands a lot.
You're good. I'll fix this for you.
And I'm washing my hair and I had blonde hair at the time, so I always used purple shampoo when I wash my hair. Alicia, tell people about purple shampoo for those of the listeners that don't know.
It's a pigmented shampoo to help like take away any goldness in your hair, like gold pigment. Sometimes there's definitely better brands out there. I'm just saying. But sometimes people can overuse it though, so it does the opposite of what you want it to do. So just be a little careful with that.
And it also can stain sometimes.
It does. So if you leave it in too long, if you have platinum white hair, it could turn it purple.
Yes.
Be conscientious. It's like a toner in shampoo form. So it's not like a toner, but yes.
But I was using this shampoo at the time for my hair to keep like the brassiness away. And I'm washing my hair and he was blonde. So I was like, "Oh, do you want some shampoo too?"
Yes.
And he's like, "Oh, yeah." I was like, "It's purple shampoo." And he had sisters. So I was
Never
wrong.
assume.
I was wrong to assume that he would know what this is. So he takes it, he puts it in his hands. And I guess this is how boys clean themselves. Correct me if I'm wrong. Face
Yes. Head, then ass.
with purple shampoo.
Yeah, it's literally like an all body experience. I don't know how they get away with it.
I was like, okay. All right.
If I use shampoo strictly for my entire body, all of my past lovers would be bitching. Okay?
This was like one of the stronger brands of purple shampoo.
Yeah.
I was terrified that he was gonna come out and he was gonna have a purple face. I was
or
like,
purple fro, like a ball fro.
I was like,
Because you said he's blonde, right?
literally, I was just looking at him. I was like, what did you just like? What just happened? What did I just witness?
I'm sure your facial expression freaked him out too. Like in the shower, you're probably
No, his
looking at
eyes were
him.
closed.
Oh.
He was going like this, and I was like,
Wash it off. Wash it off.
I was like, get under here right now. I'm like, we don't have time. You need to rinse right away.
So was his hair dyed or pigmented purple at all?
No,
No.
I
That would've
made
been
him.
great.
I was like, get under there.
I would have loved that if he came out looking like Barney.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. My God. Some post-coital stories of mine. Let me think of something I haven't shared on this goddamn fucking show. I think I've mentioned it, but I don't think it ever aired because hello. Anyways, okay, I got one. Okay.
Okay.
So, this is gonna come out after the episode with Angel. So I talk about how I have only had like one night stand in my life.
Yeah.
Because I'm just this heartbroken, hopeless romantic. You know, I don't even know if those exist anymore. I might be the last existing one. But my God, I have a hard time, like when I have sex, like I was telling you, I have a hard time mixing love and sexual interaction together. I have to consciously be like, love does not equal sex. Love does not equal sex. So that is why I personally don't have one night stands. If it works for you, do it. Let your freakiest flag fly. I love it. Send me messages. I want to know how it goes. But my only experience went bad. And it was shortly after I placed my son for adoption. I had been arrested. I was just in a slew of trouble. None of my family was particularly any of my fans at that moment either. So I was just like out bopping around making a lot of bad decisions. And just like how you never hear from people and then suddenly you ask and you shall receive, they come. They see you and they come.
No, literally.
Literally.
Like, it's almost like they sense it before you even say anything.
Yes.
It's like they know.
Yeah. So I was emancipated, barely 18, get arrested, living with my dad because I got kicked out of my mom's. And lo and behold, enters our male character here. Biggest fucking crush I had in 8th grade at Christian private school. But here's the kicker. When I was 14, he was 18 because 7th through 12th grade all went to the same building. So we had the same art class, but we were flirting and I'm 14. He's a senior. And, I always thought he liked me, but obviously nothing ever occurred because he even later said like, that would have been weird. And it would have been weird because even looking back, I'm like, yeah, that was weird. You weirdo. But anyways, I'm on probation. I have colors. I'm trying to get, my system cleaned out because I got to pass a piss test and smoking a lot of herb. And I get invited to go out to dinner with said person. And I'm like, oh, I've always wondered about you. Sure. I'm an adult. Let's go. He worked at Smith's at the time, which is a Utah local grocery store. And he goes in and he's like, well, what do you like to drink? And the only thing I had ever drank at that point is the whiskey I'd steal from my father's liquor cabinet. You know what I mean? Right. I never really drank beer. So I'm like, oh, the apple one sounds good. So we got a 12-pack of Reds.
Yes.
Takes me back to this shithole in Ogden, where I now live. Yes, reppin' O-Town. But just a shithole. And he had like 5 roommates. And it kind of sucked because I wasn't allowed to smoke. I wasn't really allowed to partake. So me thinking, I'm like, okay, I'll just get shit-faced drunk off these Reds while these buds smoke it up. And that was dumb of me because, long story short, they test for alcohol, obviously. Flunked that test. Stupid, dumb 18-year-old Alicia. But we finally go down to his room, and he's like, what kind of shows are you into?
Oh.
Like, all the small talk, because he couldn't maintain a conversation with Jack. And he's like, well, I've been watching this show called Dexter. Do you want to watch it? Like, do you want to watch it with me?
Do you want to watch some guy kill a bunch of people?
I'm like, oh, yeah.
Does that turn you on?
Sounds good.
Blood?
But he just kills the bad guys.
I know.
So maybe.
Spoiler alert.
But, we get carried away. I get way too drunk. Next thing I know, we end up in the shower also of this unfinished bathroom. Like, it's literally doesn't even have plaster on the walls. Like, it's just the beams. Like, the outside has the plaster on it, or the sheetrock.
Does he have a shower curtain?
No, it was just like a fucking standing tub, an old one, and it's all dirty. There's man pubes in this fucking drain, and I'm just like, oh, you want me to get in that? Okay, well, I guess I will.
Swoon.
So I just have been fantasizing over this dude for 4 years at that point. I mean, that sounds strong. We all do that, but you know what I mean. Just another. A crush from afar. That was always the guy that I was like, I want to nail him. And when the opportunity arose, well, let's just say it did not arise because I was just like so fucking disappointed. And obviously, we're not saying names, but if I know you listen, so I mean, no disrespect, man. Like, it was just a really awkward experience, and you know, I don't know why, but I have a bad history of sleeping with men who are really curved to the side. Like, I even went through a phase.
Someone I know?
No.
Okay.
I even went through a phase where I was like, is it normal for a guy's dick to like curve? Why? It
No.
doesn't always feel good.
At
It's
the right
it's
angle.
not the hook that helps you lean over like fucking Nikki is rapping about, because sometimes it hurts. But just very small and very crooked, and
Aw.
it was very short-lived, and then I passed out in his bed with wet hair but no
Oh.
shampoo or conditioner, so
That's
it's
the
like
worst.
the ratty, you know, thing that I'm never going to be able to comb out. And you know, I still had a curfew then, so he wakes me up watching Dexter. We just went back to his bed. I'd never seen it before. I later went back and watched that whole series, and I was like, oh, this all makes sense now.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I was
Right.
like, why is this guy, like, wrapping everyone up in saran wrap? Are they a snack? Like, is he saving them for later?
He's gonna eat them.
I don't know. But he wakes me up. He's like, hey, girl, I feel like I need a hat. Like, I need to put on a costume for him almost. He's like, hey, girl, like, we need to go.
Time to wake up.
We need to get you back home. And I'm like, okay.
That was kind of
No.
that was kind of like nice.
I guess. I don't know.
Chivalrous.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better, right? Well, he picked me up, so he had to bring me home. Like,
okay.
I was like, I have a strict curfew. My daddy gonna kill you, okay? And it kind of is funny to look back in retrospect, because my dad loved my ex-husband, didn't love my first sperm donor, but like whenever he actually should have intervened, like kicked someone's ass for me, he never did. But in this instance, he took it upon himself to definitely step in, because we roll up. I'm late. I'm drunk as fuck, stumbling out of the car. Dead ass winter. I slip on ice, fall on my ass, and in my head, this is my perspective. I'm like, what a douche. He didn't even get out of his car to help me up. Fuck him. Fuck him. And I, you know, penguin walk my way into the apartment. 4 weeks go by, like a whole month. I hadn't heard from him at all. I was like, well, oh yeah, for sure. Fuck that
Yeah.
guy. Like, ew, fuck him.
Ew.
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 But by this point, like, I had met my ex-husband and we started dating.
Yeah.
And like, he'd already met my dad. Like, my dad was really cool with him. And we're even at dinner with my dad, said a month into our fucking relationship. I actually think we already were talking when I had this one night stand, but who cares?
It's okay.
Obviously
it didn't
that other
count.
thing didn't work out
It-
either, so it doesn't count.
It did.
But
was it? Well,
We're at fucking.
it didn't happen if the dick wasn't snapping.
Oh, I broke that bell. But we're at Golden Corral of all places with my dad, and we call it Chuckarama, but
Yuckarama?
Yuckarama, yeah,
Yeah.
not good. But we're there eating dinner, and my dad's sharing all these embarrassing stories. Oh, let me tell you about Little Leash. Let me tell you, she has always ... And then he gets into this newer story, one I haven't heard before, and that's rare because he likes to repeat himself a lot. He's like, oh, I remember when Alicia got dropped off by this scumbag, disrespectful little fucker in a Jeep. And I slowly chime back into the conversation. I'm like, that sounds familiar. And
Don't
he's
bring
like,
it up, Dad.
she was so drunk. She got in so much trouble the next day 'cause she missed a color test, her drug test, and then she popped it, and I extended my probation. But I did get in a lot of trouble for that. But he's like, I see her stumbling out of this car, slip on her ass, and I walk out there to go help her up. But by the time I get out to the courtyard, because we were living in these apartments, she's already up and walking back.
Right.
So I walk right past her, And she was so drunk, she didn't even see me.
Oh, Jesus.
I hop into this son of a bitch's car, grab him by the hair, and slam his head up against the window 3 times. And he goes, if you ever bring my fucking daughter back here past curfew or fucked up, I will kill you. I didn't hear that for a whole fucking month. And I was sitting at that table with my boyfriend, and I was like, oh my God, that's why he didn't call me. My ex-boyfriend.
But you had no idea.
Yeah, my ex is like, well, what's that supposed to mean? But I was literally like, oh my God, like, did you really? And he's like, oh, fuck yeah, that guy skeeted on out of
Oh
that
my
icy
gosh.
parking lot. Like, I was like, wow, that was like so over my head. Like, yeah, post-coital stories
Yeah.
for sure.
Never gonna piss Alicia off either.
Hey, it wasn't me that smashed the, hey, well, you know, I'm a Taurus.
It's okay. It's fine. Yeah.
I'm a Taurus. You know, I love deeply, but until like I get to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm done. I'm done.
That's fair.
Wow, my voice got really
That's fair.
deep there. Very
It's okay.
sensual.
I sound like a man today.
I don't think you do. I don't know.
Okay, I have one more story
'Kay,
for you. I'll
I'm
make it
ready.
quick.
I'm ready.
Not to
Cheers.
name any names because
We're all
I don't want
mutual
to
friends.
expose myself.
Yeah, and we all know everybody in
But
this room.
This is one of my, not necessarily post-coital, but probably one of the like craziest. Also, I did keep it a secret for a little while, but then it did eventually have to come out.
Oh.
So, I was dating someone, and I haven't dated a lot of people. So if you know me, then you probably already know. And I don't know why, but like I had this. We're out bowling with all of our friends, like my friends, his friends. We'd do this a lot. We'd go bowling, and
I'm a terrible bowler.
I'm only good when I'm drunk, and it's like a certain level of drunk.
It's like pool. I just need to
Yeah.
warm up a little, and then it's like, okay, now I can hustle your ass.
Exactly.
I'm really good at darts. Sorry, sidebar.
So I don't know why, what got me in the mood. Apparently bowling, bowling shoes, the whole experience.
You have
Apparently,
to rent some socks.
yeah, it
Feel
just
a little dirty.
it really got me
Well,
in the
dirty
mood.
girl.
So we somehow end up there's a family restroom of this bowling alley.
Like a shared
Yeah.
handicap restroom type
Basically,
deal? Okay.
yeah. And I'm like, oh, babe, like, here, just come to the bathroom with me real quick. I damn knew I knew what I was doing.
I knew what I was doing.
We told everyone that I was throwing up because they were all banging on the door because everyone was waiting for us afterwards.
Oh, so you took a long time. It wasn't like a quick exchange.
It was like my head was up against the door type of slamming into the door type of
Rail me
situation.
harder. I can't speak. Okay.
And friends were knocking on the door. Are you okay in there? We come out and I'm just like, oh yeah, I just like, because there was a bar in this bowling alley. And I was like,
There
yeah,
always is.
I just drank too much. Like I was puking. He was holding my hair. Like literally, I don't.
As you're wiping the cum stains off your face. I'm sorry,
I
too
was
far.
just like,
Too far.
No, that's pretty much how it all went. Honestly, like on my back, I'm like wiping stuff off. I'm like, oh my gosh. Trying to get myself together, compose myself, because there's a group of 5 people outside this door waiting for us.
Yes.
And a little girl with her mom waiting to go to the bathroom.
Probably had
Like,
pigtails.
oh my gosh, this is really embarrassing. So of course I'm like, oh yeah. They're like, are you guys okay? And we're like, oh yeah, I just drank too much. Like I had to puke, and we end up like going back to my house and drinking some more. And then I was like, you guys remember when we were in the bathroom? We were having sex.
We're having sex. That's me though. Like I am so not shy. Like I almost like want to wear it like a badge, like a badge of honor. Like I am so
I just did that.
not fucking shy about my sex life, like at all. Like I had that experience where I owed someone a a blowy for New Year.
You owed them?
Well, it's
How do you owe?
it's I can't say on the podcast.
Oh my
I'll tell you when we're done. It was a joke between the two of us, and I was like, oh, if you can do this, I'll give you this later, kind of ordeal.
yeah.
You know, it was
Okay,
just
I've been
between
in
the two
that
of us. It wasn't like
situation
I owed him. He's not soliciting things from me.
You're on Craigslist.
It wouldn't be the first time. No, I'm just kidding. But I was too drunk coming home the night before, so we pass out, and I guess I shouldn't even say that. We stayed up till 5 a.m. So
Okay,
I was like,
that's fair.
I'm done. Leishy's tired. And
Ooh,
we should, I'm making a burp reel because Sarah burps so much on this show.
it burned a little bit.
That's the worst. But it's the morning, and I wasn't planning to go to a second night of a show. It just happened. Like, a girl literally bought my ticket.
Oh.
Shout outs to you again, Morgan. But I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'll wake him up in a nice way to say goodbye.
Shut up.
I go to leave and go down the stairs. My keys are in the kitchen on the counter, and we stayed at our friend's house that who introduced us. And his buddy's in the kitchen making coffee, and I'm like, suddenly so self-aware. I'm like, oh my God, like, it probably looks like I've been bawling my eyes out because I have
Oh
mascara
my
all
gosh.
over. My makeup
You
is
are
smeared.
going hard.
I look like a cheap whore. Like,
my
I mean,
gosh.
I'm just like, oh, okay, like, thanks for letting us stay. Oh, fuck. I'll bleep that out. And then it's like, I go to give him a hug, but then I'm like, oh, fuck, what if I smell like sex? Like, it's like, what do you do? It's like, half hug, see ya, thanks, bud. Like,
All right, thanks.
oh,
Bye.
so that's embarrassing. But, yeah, I mean, I've literally been, I mean, I do this every week. So it's gotten to a point where it's like, we'll fuck on the side and then go to a party, and people will be like, well, why were you late? And it's like, sorry, we were fucking. Like,
Oh, man.
I'm infamous for, like, coming down the stairs at, like, a party or a group function and be like, oh my God, you look so good. I want to sit on your face. And people are just like, oh God, Alicia's here. Outrageous. You either love me or hate me.
You want to know what's the worst thing, though?
What?
I've literally, like, come out. Okay, so basically,
What did you say up there? You're a Libra or a lesbian?
yeah.
Are you coming out now?
No. I wish I liked girls.
Me too.
Men have ruined me. I wish I liked girls, but I like dick.
What's so weird about that, isn't it? Yeah. Bam, bam.
Anyways,
This is my.
there you go. Oh,
This is. Your vagina is calling.
don't say that to me. This is like a long streak happening right now, and who knows when it's gonna end.
I'm telling you, you gotta be the best boyfriend you've ever had.
To myself,
My best orgasms have been had with myself. It's like I almost get into a state of meditation because it's like my only time to do it is in the
Oh.
shower, and it's like you get so into it, you even start talking dirty
Stop.
to
Okay,
yourself, and
I'm
you're
getting
like,
turned on. Alicia.
my God, I'm amazing. And by the end of it, you're like, holy fuck, that was amazing. I am amazing. And you have nobody to give credit to except for yourself and your best friend. Mine's named Jimmy.
Mine's name is Klaus.
Off of Vampire Diaries, the originals. He's a fine specimen of a man.
Yeah, it kind of became a running joke in my last office. I'm like super open about like all things. But yeah, I definitely told my coworkers I was going to buy a vibrator, and we all collectively named it Klaus.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Group effort.
I know. They were very supportive of it.
That's very nice of them.
Yeah, like, would you rather me be like hoeing around or me just being home alone? Like,
That is like a newfound level of like support.
yeah.
Okay.
And half the time it's way better anyways.
It's much better. I know. Like, I've said this before on the show. Like, it's one thing to get off, but it's another to have touch and kisses and
Yeah.
another warm body. Yes, but like, girl, empower yourself. Like, A new world awaits you. Last time I said that, Sarah's like, a whole new world.
She's not wrong.
Oh, okay, I have one more story before we wrap it up because I thought of this while
Here.
I was listening to you.
Give me that.
Yes, this is for you. I don't need it.
Woohoo!
So my most recent past part-time lover,
Part-time lover.
we get okay. So first of all, he cheated on this game. I like games. I like
I thought you were gonna say he cheated on me, and I was
No.
about to whip some ass.
No. I like fool around games. You know what I mean? Kind of like
Oh.
foreplay. So we're going to this baseball game.
Forrest,
And-
are you listening?
Ugh. Hi, Forrest. I love you, bud. I'll see you in a couple weeks. I'm going to the bar with him.
What the fuck, Alicia?
I know. Anyway, yeah. And sorry, I get carried away. You threw me off guard.
Just cut that.
Yeah,
just
I will.
cut that part
All
out.
of it will. But anyways, I like these fun games that you get to play. It's like banter. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like,
For some reason, I thought you were gonna say it's like Bambi.
yeah, definitely. Except without his mom getting shot. It's a terrible movie. We're going to this baseball game. We're already running late because we may or may not have gotten carried away a couple times at my house beforehand. I don't know. I've been told that I am the machine and I can just go and go and go. But it's like, if my needs aren't met, like, you bet your ass we're going to be going again. Like, that's only fair, right?
That's fair. That's really
fair.
fair. Yeah.
That needs to be normalized, okay? Both
That-
people need to get off.
That was on your story today. Things we need to normalize.
Yeah. There you go. That's one of them. But so we're running late. People are waiting on us, and he doesn't know his music very well. Like, he was the guy who, when that homeless guy with the Snapple came out with the Fleetwood Mac,
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
that's the TikTok song." And I was like, "No, that's fucking Stevie Nicks. Get the fuck out of my car." So anytime we drive anywhere with each other, I try to play him something new or old or just, something he's never heard
Educate
before.
him?
Yes, educate him.
Yes.
So a Led Zeppelin song comes on. It was Hot for Teacher or Bad for Teacher. It's Hot for Teacher. And I was like, if you can guess the iconic band that sings this, I'll give you I guess that's my thing. I'll give you a blowy, like, when we get to this baseball game. And he's like, how are you going to do it at the baseball game? I was like, that's the best part. It's a surprise.
Damn.
So
Damn.
I'm a giver. These guys know this. I am. I'm a giver. I get off on giving. I don't know. Anyway, he turns to me like halfway through the song and he's like, "Oh my God, this is Led Zeppelin."
Shut up.
And I was like, "Oh my God." The one time.
He Shazam it.
The what? Yes, he did.
That motherfucker.
He fucking cheated.
Shazammed.
Did you like my screamo voice? Wow, that is scary. Yes, he fucking did. He fucking cheated, but I didn't know about it until later, like after it already happened. So we're at the baseball game. We're really handsy. There's a bar there. We're almost like, hey, you want to get out of here? But then we decided to go to a party, and I was like, well, we might have to get our rocks off before we go to said party. That's only fair to both of us. I mean,
fair.
I made a promise to you, and I feel like you could indulge me as well. So we slip off from our friends, and we go into the female restroom. I pop my head in first. No, there was no one else in there when we went in there. So we get in there, the nasty starts to go on, and not like 3 minutes into it, it had, and I don't mean to stereotype, you guys know me, but it had to be like an older black lady, because she comes in and she's like, "Oh my Lord, what is that?" And I like turn to him like we're up against the wall on the handicap stall. And I'm just kind of like bracing myself against him, and he's like clenching me, and we're just silent, staring, direct eye fucking contact. And it's like, don't even breathe, okay? Don't even fucking breathe. Because we thought she was talking about us. And she goes on to be like, "It smells in here." And I was just like, oh my fucking God. So then He's freaking out because he doesn't want to get caught. She takes forever to bust out her business. And so when she finally leaves, I'm like, okay, we need to make a run for it. But what was so funny when we're standing in the stall, he's like, she can see both of our feet. Like, get your feet up here. I was like, no, because then it doesn't look like anyone's in here. Like, there's at least got to be 2 feet. The door is locked. Like, so he's like hiding behind the beam so no one could see like the fucking feet. And I'm just at the toilet, like dying of laughter. Anyways, she finally leaves. I pop my head out and I'm like, okay, this is our moment. We bolt. And as we're exiting, like 5 or 6 50-plus-year-old men are walking by with their beers and they're like, oh, get it. Yeah, that happened. And just to like what I was saying earlier, how like I'm not shy about that at all. Like we go back to where we're sitting, and our friends are like, "Oh, where'd you guys go?" I'm like, "We fucked in the bathroom, and we almost got caught." And they're just like, "Oh, cool,
man.
like cool." Like I don't know. I make my family very uncomfortable.
That's okay. You know, sometimes that just needs to happen.
Hey, I let my freakiest flag fly. You
As
should
you
too.
should.
Yes, you should. Well, Shan,
Well,
I appreciate
Leash.
you listening to me, and I appreciate you sharing some of your stories.
Hopefully, I don't piss too many people off.
I don't think I'll be able to get over the urination station.
You know,
He made your bed the station. Urination station.
I just like, and the worst part is he's hit me up since my breakup, and it's like, I low-key miss like our friendship, but I know that he wants more out of it, and I'm just like, I have too much pride. I don't know if I can go back down that road.
But also, it's like, why would you want to with someone who can't even like tell you that he pissed in your bed? Like, it's a bodily function. It doesn't need to be embarrassing, but he made it so bad. He made it so much worse for himself.
Here's a word to the wise, you guys. This is my advice to everyone listening. If that happens to you, it's okay. Just like we all get shit-faced sometimes.
Own it.
I've peed on myself before in the bar bathroom because I couldn't get my pants off fast enough and I was blackout drunk.
I've peed from coughing too hard and sneezing. That's what happens after you push out two babies.
You have babies.
Yeah.
I pee every time I jump on the trampoline and I don't even have babies. So yeah, that's weird.
I don't know.
Anyways, it is normal. Just
You gotta own it.
Yeah, just own it.
If you're gonna go out and party like that and do the shit that you do, you just gotta own the repercussions that follow. You know what I mean?
That would have been I feel like if he would have just been like, oh, hey, sorry, put it in the washer and dryer, I would have been like, oh, okay, it's fine, whatever. It would have been like, okay, cool. But now it's like, every time I look at you, it's like, you peed in my bed.
That's for life, man.
That is for fucking life.
It's like the herpes, but maybe almost worse. He could have rose from that bed and literally like come out the most confident fucking king and be like, hey, darling, like, I am so sorry. I got way too fucked up last night. He could have like totally spun that in his favor. Okay? And you can.
You can. Just own it.
Don't ever be embarrassed. Just own that shit.
Speaking of which, I'm probably going to pee my pants. So
yes. Okay. All that being said, we love you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. If you want to give us a follow on Instagram and Facebook, you can do so at Hard Talks with B&H. We are also on Twitter at Hard Talks with B1. And if you want to subscribe to our Patreon or watch the full-length videos, our YouTube and Patreon link is in our link on Instagram. So it's all there. I hope you guys, stay weird. Don't do anything that we wouldn't do, okay? Which isn't saying much, but just word to the wise. Stay wise. I love you guys. Until next week. Bye.
Bye.
That was funny.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to pee my pants. Dude, what the fuck?